Okay, today is the 9th of September 2009 and we only have about a week left for Dhamma talk. So I'm quite happy that we finished the Samyutta Nikaya. So I promised that we will do part of the Majjhima Nikaya. So we'll start tonight on the Majjhima Nikaya. This Majjhima Nikaya, Majjhima means middle or medium, and Nikaya means collection. So it's a collection of medium-length discourses of the Buddha. Compared to, for example, the Digha Nikaya is long discourses. This one is middle-length or medium-length discourses. And then, like we finished the Samyutta Nikaya, that was all mostly short discourses. And the Samyutta Nikaya, there's over 2,000 suttas because they are short. Anguttara Nikaya also over 2,000 suttas, short suttas. But in the Majjhima Nikaya, we only have 152 suttas, and that's divided into 3 books. So the topics vary, a wide range of topics. But as usual, most of the discourses were given to the monks, the Bhikkhu Sangha. So out of these 152 discourses, we start from the number 1, the first discourse. And of all the discourses, the suttas in the Majjhima Nikaya, this number 1 is the hardest nut to crack. It's very difficult to understand. For a beginner, you just can't make head or tail out of it. Okay, this sutta is called Mulapariyaya Sutta, and here they translate as the root of all things. Mula, as we know in Bahasa Melayu, is the beginning of all things, the root of all things. So, this word things is not so good because it is actually Sabba Dhamma, Mulapariyaya. Sabba Dhamma is all Dhammas. Here they say all things. I think maybe a better translation is all states, the root of all states. And this states refers to states of mind, because the Buddha is trying to explain how unwholesome states arise because the beginning we had some wrong conceptions. We start off on the wrong foot. And in the Magandhya Sutta, the Buddha says that we have been deceived by our mind for a long time. Lifetime after lifetime, we've been deceived by our mind. So how have we been deceived by our mind? Here it tries to explain a bit. Okay, let's go to the Sutta and see. Thus have I heard. On one occasion, the Blessed One was living in Ukata, in the Subhaga Grove, at the root of a royal sala tree. There he addressed the monks thus, "Monks, noble sir," they replied. The Blessed One said, "Monks, I will teach you a discourse on the root of all things. Listen and attend closely to what I shall say." "Yes, noble sir," the monks replied. The Blessed One said, "Hear, monks, an untaught ordinary person, Putujana, who does not see noble ones, Aryans, and is unskilled and untrained in their Dhamma, who does not see true men and is unskilled and untrained in their Dhamma, perceives earth as earth. Having perceived earth as earth, he conceives earth. He conceives in earth. He conceives from earth. He conceives earth to be mind. He delights in earth. Why is that? Because he has not fully understood it, I say." Stop here for a moment. This he conceives, this word, the Pali word is manyati, and it comes from the root word man, M-A-N, and the M-A-N means to think. So this word manyati, you can say, is to conceive, to think, to construe, to discriminate, etc. So here, an ordinary person, he perceives earth as earth. What it means is that his perception of earth is what his senses tell him. We perceive the world through our 6 senses, through the eyes, we see; through the ears, we hear; the nose, we smell; the tongue, we taste; the body, we touch; and the mind thinks. So, because an ordinary person, his mind is not developed, so he does not see from a higher wisdom. He only accepts what the senses tell him, what is received through the senses. He believes everything that the senses tell him. That's why he perceives earth as earth. And then having perceived earth as earth, he conceives earth. That means he thinks about earth. And then he conceives in earth. He conceives from earth. This one I will explain a little bit later. Conceives earth to be mind. He delights in earth because earth is one of the things in the world that gives him enjoyment, pleasure. So he wants to possess this earth. Wants earth to be mine because he has not fully understood it. So a major part of the sutta repeats this, almost the same thing. He perceives water as water. Having perceived water as water, he conceives water. He conceives in water. He conceives from water. He conceives water to be mind. He delights in water. Why is that? Because he has not fully understood it, I say. Similarly, he perceives fire as fire. Having perceived fire as fire, he conceives fire. He conceives in fire. He conceives from fire. He conceives fire to be mind. He delights in fire. Why is that? Because he has not fully understood it, I say. Then he perceives air as air in the same way. He repeats the sequence. And he perceives beings as beings. He perceives gods as gods. He perceives Pajapati as Pajapati. Pajapati is supposed to be the creator God. He perceives Brahma as Brahma. He perceives the gods of streaming radiance as the gods of streaming radiance. Sorry for a moment. This Brahma is the Deva in the first jhana plane. So the gods of streaming radiance are the gods in the second jhana plane. He perceives the gods of refulgent glory as the gods of refulgent glory. This is supposed to be the third jhana. He perceives the gods of great fruit, Vihapala, as the gods of great fruit. This is the fourth jhana, heavens. He perceives the overlord as the overlord. He perceives the base of infinite space as the base of infinite space. He perceives the base of infinite consciousness as the base of infinite consciousness. He perceives the base of nothingness as the base of nothingness. He perceives the base of neither perception nor non-perception as the base of neither perception nor non-perception. He perceives the seen as the seen. He perceives the heard as the heard. He perceives the sensed as the sensed. He perceives the cognized as the cognized. So you see these last four things, the seen, the heard, the sense, and the cognized. The cognized is what is cognized through the thinking faculty, the mind. So the sense means what is smelled, what is tasted, what is touched. So the sense refers to the three sense bases, the smelt, the tasted, and the touched. He perceives unity as unity. He perceives diversity as diversity. He perceives all as all. He perceives Nibbana as Nibbana. So all of them, they repeat the same thing. Having perceived Nibbana as Nibbana, he conceives Nibbana. He conceives in Nibbana. He conceives from Nibbana. He conceives Nibbana to be mind. He delights in Nibbana. Why is that? Because he has not fully understood it, I say. So here, what's the meaning of he conceives? Then after that, he conceives in that object, and then he conceives from that object. I'll try to explain. First, he perceives, for example, we take example, the first one, earth. He perceives earth as earth. He believes entirely what the senses tell him, that earth is solid, it's real and all that. So, having perceived earth, he conceives earth. He thinks about earth. He construes, has some conception about earth, has some idea about earth. And then he conceives in earth. I think this means he conceives an object in earth. And then he conceives from earth, means he conceives a subject apart from earth. So this mind, whenever consciousness works, you sense an object, for example, you see or you hear. And then you have this conception there is an object out there, and you have a subject, a self inside you. You are seeing something, or you are hearing something. So this mind tends to set up this subject and object. This is the way the mind tricks us. Actually, this subject and object is just a perception. What happens is that this consciousness arises. For example, we take seeing consciousness. Seeing consciousness arises and passes away. Seeing consciousness arises and passes away. But when seeing consciousness arises, you seem to have this distinction between an object and a subject. I see that form, or hearing also. When a sound comes to the ear, hearing consciousness arises, and this hearing consciousness arises and ceases. But in the process of this consciousness arising, the mind tricks you into believing that I am hearing that sound. You see. So, but in actual fact, consciousness just arises and passes away. There's no subject, there's no object. But the mind tells us that there is an I hearing that sound. There's an I smelling the smell. There's an I tasting the taste. So this is how nature tricks living beings into believing you have a self. So when we believe that there's a self, we fight for survival. Fight for survival. This world is a world of the survival of the fittest. So the Buddha says we have been tricked by the mind for a long time. So this is the beginning, the wrong footing that the mind sets us. The mind sets us on the wrong footing to make us believe that there is a self, that this I am, I exist. Remember the dependent origination, we talk about this dependent origin, bhava, the being. Being is that I exist, I am, this concept that you have. It's a wrong notion. The Buddha tells us it's a wrong notion. There's anatta, there's no self. It's that the mind tricks us into believing that I am the self. I have attained this, I have attained that, I am great, and all this thing. All this is so because of that bhava, that being that arises. Sometimes they call it that mana, that what's the word? Mana. What's the translation of mana? The last factor to be destroyed is. I forgot the last factor. There are 5 last factors that the arahan destroys. One is restlessness, one is ignorance, one is conceit. Conceit, that's the English word. So this conceit, this I am, is the way the mind tricks us. So once we have this wrong perception, then because of this, then this is the beginning of the way the mind works, and the root of all the unwholesome states in the mind. And all the unwholesome states in the mind, greed, hatred and delusion, all arise because of this feeling or this perception that I exist, I am. Right? So here the Buddha is trying to tell us that because of this conception that there is an object out there and there is a subject inside here that we delight, we delight, and then we want to possess whatever it is that gives us delight in the world. And so the Buddha says it is because we have not fully understood it. So for all the things in the world I mentioned here, the same thing happens. Once we go on the wrong footing, the first step is wrong, then all the rest is wrong. Unwholesome states arise because of that. That's why this sutta is called the root of all states. The root of all, the beginning of all states, of all mind states. Okay. Then the Buddha says, monks, a monk who is in higher training means a Seka, an Arya, whose mind has not reached the goal and who is still aspiring to the supreme security from bondage, directly knows earth as earth. Having directly known earth as earth, he should not conceive earth. He should not conceive in earth. He should not conceive from earth. He should not conceive earth to be mine. He should not delight in earth. Why is that? So that he may fully understand it, I say. Stop here for a moment. So here, an Arya, either first path attainer or first fruit, second path, second fruit, third path, third fruit, or fourth path attainer. These 7 types of Aryans is called one in training. So because he has heard the Dhamma from the Buddha and he has understood something, the Buddha says he knows earth as earth, he knows the real thing, but he has not fully understood it yet. So he's still in training. So he should not conceive earth. That means he should not think about earth. He should not have views about earth or things in the world. He should not think about things in the world. How do you stop thinking about things in the world? From attaining jhana, because the mind tends to proliferate. The mind tends to think a lot. Only when you attain one-pointedness of mind, when you attain jhana, the mind stops proliferating. It stops thinking so much. So the Buddha says he should not conceive earth. Then he should not conceive an object in earth. He should not conceive an object in earth. And he should not conceive a subject apart from earth, a self apart from the object of earth. And so he should not conceive earth to be mine, because he knows the Dhamma to the extent that he believes that the Buddha says that there is no self. So because of that, he should not conceive earth to be mine. He should not delight in earth. Why is that? So that he may fully understand it. So he is walking the path to fully understand it. So he is practicing the path to liberation. So the Buddha says that he should not conceive the objects in the world. He should not conceive an object in the things in the world. He should not conceive a subject, a self, apart from the things in the world. And he should not delight in the things in the world. When he does not delight in the things in the world, then he does not want to possess them, to want them to be mine. Similarly, he knows water as water, fire, etc. So for all the other objects mentioned before, up to Nibbana. And then the Buddha says, monks, a monk who is an arahan with asavas destroyed, who has lived the holy life, done what had to be done, laid down the burden, reached the true goal, destroyed the fetters of being, and is completely liberated through final knowledge, directly knows earth as earth. Having directly known earth as earth, he does not conceive earth. He does not conceive an object in earth. He does not conceive a subject apart from earth. He does not conceive earth to be mine. He does not delight in earth. Why is that? Because he has fully understood it, I say. And similarly for the other objects mentioned before. So an arahan is one with asavas destroyed. What is this asavas destroyed? Asavas literally means outflows, something that flows, outflows. And in this case, it means uncontrolled mental outflows. An ordinary person, a being who is not yet liberated from samsara, the mind tends to flow without control. And that is basically the flow of consciousness. And when consciousness flows without control, and the world arises, because the world is only exists inside consciousness. If there's no consciousness, there's no world. In other words, the world is, in a sense, a bit like a dream. So only when consciousness flows, that there is world. When there's no consciousness, there's no world. So an arahan has destroyed the uncontrolled mental outflows, so that when he dies, the consciousness stops flowing, so that the samsara has stopped for him. So an arahan is liberated, and he directly knows earth as earth. Having directly known earth as earth, he does not conceive earth. He does not conceive an object in earth. He does not conceive a subject apart from earth. He does not conceive earth to be mine. He does not delight in earth. And why? Because he has fully understood it. Similarly, monks, a monk who is an arahan, completely liberated through final knowledge, directly knows earth as earth. Having directly known earth as earth, he does not conceive earth. He does not conceive an object in earth. He does not conceive a subject apart from earth. He does not conceive earth to be mine. He does not delight in earth. Why is that? Because he is free from lust through the destruction of lust. So this is another characteristic of arahan, a liberated being. The first part there says he has fully understood, and arahan has fully understood. Here it says arahan is free from lust through the destruction of lust. Similarly, the next paragraph the Buddha says, a monk who is an arahan, completely liberated, directly knows earth as earth. Having directly known earth as earth, he does not conceive earth. He does not conceive an object in earth. He does not conceive a subject apart from earth. He does not conceive earth to be mine. He does not delight in earth. Why is that? Because he is free from hatred through the destruction of hatred. And the next part is almost the same. He's an arahan, completely liberated, directly knows earth as earth, etc. And he does not conceive earth to be mine. He does not delight in earth. Why is that? Because he's free from delusion through the destruction of delusion. And then the Buddha says, monks, the Tathagata, accomplished and fully enlightened, Sammasambuddha, directly knows earth as earth. Having directly known earth as earth, he does not conceive earth. He does not conceive an object in earth. He does not conceive a subject apart from earth. He does not conceive earth to be mine. He does not delight in earth. Why is that? Because the Tathagata has fully understood it to the end, I say. So similarly for the other objects. And then the next paragraph, monks, the Tathagata, arahan, Sammasambuddha, directly knows earth as earth. Having directly known earth as earth, he does not conceive earth. He does not conceive an object in earth. He does not conceive a subject apart from earth. He does not conceive earth to be mine. He does not delight in earth. Why is that? Because he has understood that delight is the root of suffering, and that with being as condition there is birth, and that for whatever has come to be there is aging and death. Therefore, monks, through the complete destruction, fading away, cessation, giving up and relinquishing of cravings, the Tathagata has awakened to supreme enlightenment, I say. Similarly, he directly knows water is water, Nibbana is Nibbana, etc. What the Blessed One said. But those monks did not delight in the Blessed One's words. So, this last part, Buddha says, the Buddha has understood that delight is the root of suffering. If you want to enjoy life, that is the cause of suffering. And with being as condition, there is birth. This being is that conceit, I am. Once you have this perception that I am or I exist, then you will see yourself born in the world. And whatever has come to be, whatever has self, I am, there is aging and death, because this world is impermanent. When you see yourself in the world, then you see yourself aging, becoming sick and dying. So through the complete destruction, fading away, cessation, giving up and relinquishing of craving, the Tathagata has awakened to supreme full enlightenment. So the only way to become enlightened is to give up all that craving, all the craving for all the enjoyable things in the world. And then the last sentence says that the monks did not delight in the Blessed One's words. This is one of the few suttas where the monks could not accept here, because well, definitely those monks are not arahants and not even Aryans. So I guess it does not refer to all the monks. Probably some of the monks did not accept the words here, because the words here are very deep and profound. So some of them, when they listen to it, they cannot understand, firstly. Secondly, a lot of people they cannot give up the self. Cannot give up the self, because it is the self. With the self you want to enjoy. Without the self, there's no enjoyment. So that's the sutta. I may not have explained it fully, but at least hopefully it gives you a little idea about this, what the Buddha is trying to teach here. In the initial stages, when I read through this sutta so many times, I couldn't understand it.